You have a topic that you want to write an article on, but then you discover that there are so many articles already existing on that topic. Some of these articles may be recent or maybe even a couple of years ago. And now you're thinking, do you still have to write that article? Is it going to be worth it? My answer for you is yes, it's going to be worth it. Go ahead and write that article. And before I share with you the 6 reasons why you should still write that article, I want to share a little experience of mine with you. Hopefully you can learn from this. Last year, I wrote an article on this CSS properties. It was the visibility property and the display property. Don't worry, I'm not going to throw in programming or web development terms for long. This is just a simple example. So I wrote an article on this, and this is something that has been in CSS for years, for a long time. There are already tons of articles around it, but I just wanted to share my own knowledge around it, and I still did, regardless of the number of articles already existing. I got this feedback from somebody, and I'm not going to share a screenshot of this feedback because this video is not meant to kind of point hands at this person wherever the person is. I'm just sharing this for the context of this video. And this person said there are so many nice recent features in CSS that you can write about than writing about this which has been here for a long time and people have written about it a lot and is no longer beneficial. And then my response to this person was, are you the one who gets to define what is beneficial and what is not beneficial? And of course I said a couple of other things. And when I published this article, I got nice compliments around it. There were people who learned from this article. They never knew the difference between the properties I was trying to explain, or they never even thought about it, which is why I asked this person, are you the one who gets to define what is beneficial? So are you the one who gets to say this is relevant, this is not relevant? So you can see somebody actually learned from what I wrote, and it wasn't just one person, there were a couple of people. I am that content creator who would write articles on any topic I want to share my knowledge about. I care less if thousands of people have already written about it. I would still write my own version. I would still share my own knowledge. So I'm done with the story. Now I'm going to share with you 6 reasons why you should still write on that topic even if you feel there are a lot of articles around it already. Number 1, some people may not already know about that topic that you're writing on. If I have thought about a question, I'm going to ask that question on Google, right? And then I'm going to get results which could be articles that people have written. But take for instance something I haven't thought about. I won't go to Google to search for what I haven't thought about, right? But let's say somebody writes an article on a topic and maybe that person shares it with another person and people share and somehow it finds its way to me. Now I see this topic and I'm like, oh, I've never actually thought about this. Or I'm like, wait, seriously? This is possible in CSS? Now I open that article, I learned from that article and I'm like, wow, this was actually beneficial. I never knew this was possible and now I know. But what do you see here? Even if many people have already written on that topic, this author wasn't the first, but I got to see their own article first, which drives my point. People may not already know about that topic they're writing on, even though 50 million authors have already written on it. And that is why you should still write that article, because your article may likely be the first article that introduces somebody to a topic. A good example I can give of this is I wrote an article I think in 2020 and it was around the web share API. What this API does is it allows you to easily share links in your website to platforms like WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Instagram. I wasn't the first to write on this article. This was a feature that already existed and there were already articles on them, but I wrote on it and people saw that and they were like, what? This is actually possible in browsers? I never knew. I think in 2020 and 2021 that article was like my most read article on my website. So you see, again, I wasn't the first. People didn't know about that topic, and when I wrote about it and I shared it with one person and one person shared and shared and shared, my article was what introduced people first to that topic. And then heading to my second reason on why you should still write that article, we have different audiences. My WhatsApp contacts are different from your WhatsApp contact. Well, hopefully we don't share the same friends. My Twitter followers are different from yours. My LinkedIn followers are different from yours. Not like entirely different, but there are some differences. We have different audiences. Now let's say you have your audience and I have my audience. If you write an article on a topic and I write an article on that same topic, it would be a quicker process for your article to get to your audience than for my article to get to your audience. Because before my article can get to your audience, maybe I share it with my audience and maybe my audience shares and maybe somehow it finds its way to your audience. You can see again that because we have different audiences, even though we write on the same topics, there are people from my audience that would see mine first before they see yours. And there are people from your audience who would see yours first before they see mine. The third reason you should still write that article is because we all have different and unique ways of expressing our thoughts, and our thoughts can be around our knowledge of different topics. There are people whose articles have illustrations. I cannot illustrate. I'm not very good at illustrating, and illustrating is also a lot of work, but that's what some people do when expressing their thoughts. For some people, they use storytelling. They take you through a story from an origin to the end. People approach content creation or sharing their knowledge in different and unique ways. You also have your own unique way of writing. You may not realize it yet, it may not be obvious yet, but with time you get to see it, or with time you get to formalize it. I also have my unique way of writing. So for the fact that I've already written on a topic doesn't mean that you shouldn't. There are certain articles or certain topics I've wanted to understand where I go through this person's article and I'm like, I'm not satisfied, I don't really understand this yet. I go through this other person and I'm like, okay, it's beginning to make sense. I go through the third person's article and I'm like, wow, so this was it all along. Why couldn't these people just explain it like this? Ugh. Anyways, you get my point. We have different ways of writing and expressing our thoughts. So go ahead and write. Number 4, you have a nicer interface for people to read articles. This could be your personal website, or it could be Hashnote, it could be Medium, it could be wherever. And what do I mean by this? Now, there are certain websites that whenever I search for topics on Google and it brings out this website, I don't read articles from them. Sometimes I may even open the website to see if things are better now, but I'm usually disappointed things are not better. What do I mean by better and not better? Some of these websites have a lot of advertisements, and I'm not against this platform monetizing their content and making money. Of course they should, but then it begins to affect my readability. So whenever I'm searching for a topic and any of these websites come up and I open it and I see a bunch of ads everywhere and I cannot even read the answer easily, I run away and I go to a different website. So why am I making this example? Because your website may have a more readable interface. The fifth reason why you should still write that article is because you have something to share. It doesn't matter if 1,000 people have already shared their thoughts on that same topic. You have something to share it. It's your website, or maybe it's not your website, maybe you're writing on a place like Dev2 or Hashnote or Medium. It's your profile, it's your account. If sharing makes you happy, if sharing is your hobby, if sharing is maybe your 2023 New Year, is it resolution or whatever, then share. It's your platform. Do whatever you want to do with it, for real. And the last reason, writing also improves your knowledge. I'm currently working on a video where I go more into this point, and I'm going to share that once that is published. But the main idea here is that usually we focus on the end users of the content that we create, of the articles that we write. Is this simple enough? Is this easily digestible? Would people learn from this? Is this new? Is this recent? Would people find this valuable? Is this relevant? And then we end up forgetting that even we who write the articles, we also get to improve our knowledge on these topics. There are certain articles I've written on where I felt like I had an idea, or I felt like I knew what this topic was, probably 90% before I jumped into the topic. In the process of writing on that topic, I get to realize there's actually a couple of things I don't know about this topic yet. Why does this thing happen like this? I never thought to ask myself why. I've just been doing it like that because that is what I read online. In the process of coming across all of these questions, I begin to make research, I begin to find answers for them. At the end of writing on these topics, I get to realize I used to think I knew this topic 90%, got to realize I only knew it 70%, but now I truly know it 90% because I have improved my knowledge of it in the process of writing and teaching others. So you see, you are also a beneficiary for the articles that you write. You also get to teach yourself. You also get to improve and validate your knowledge on these topics. So yes, you write that article, nobody benefits from it. It's already everywhere on Google. What would make people want to read your own article? Fine, 0 reads, 0 engagement, 0 whatever. Don't forget, you were also a beneficiary. Anyways, that is it for the 6 reasons I wanted to share with you in this video, and I hope 1 or 2 or 3 or all of them were enough to encourage you to still write on that topic. Forget about the fact that other people have written on it. Just go ahead and keep writing. By writing, you get to improve your knowledge. You get to even get better at writing. So you shouldn't then be filtering topics. Oh, this is, people have written on this already, I'll pick something else. I mean, it's fine to do that. It's fine to be the first to write about an article, but that shouldn't hold you back from writing a topic that you really want to share or talk about. Well, if you found this video helpful, I would appreciate if you give it a like so that more people get to see it. Also, subscribe subscribe, and please leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think about any of these tips, or if you also have reasons that I haven't talked about yet, please share them in the comments. Somebody reading through them may find them helpful. Peace.